In a world where desert sands usually swallow secret wars, the silence of the Sahara has been shattered by a thunderous roar that is echoing all the way to Paris. For decades, the city of Kidal was seen as an untouchable fortress for separatists and a playground for foreign interests that many in the Sahel believed were keeping the conflict alive to justify their stay. But in 2026, the script has been flipped in a way that has left European military analysts in a state of absolute shock. The Malian armed forces, driven by a new spirit of sovereignty and backed by a high-tech aerial power, have successfully taken Kidal, the ultimate crown jewel of northern strategic control. This isn't just a military victory. It is a geopolitical earthquake that signals the total collapse of the old guardianship model. Good day. You're watching the Global Observer, and our lead story today examines the dramatic fall of the Kidal stronghold and why this historic shift means it is officially over. Imagine a chessboard where one player has held the center for years, convinced they could never be moved. That was Kidal. This city is not just a collection of buildings in the same. Everything changed in a matter of hours. The Malian military didn't move slow this time. They didn't wait for permission. They launched a lightning-fast strike that turned the tide so quickly. It left the armed groups in a state of total panic. One moment they were in control, the next the ground was shaking under the weight of a determined national advance. The military used the air power to act as eyes in the sky, tracking every move of the armed groups. Once the rebels realized they were being watched from above, the fear set in. Report described fighters abandoning their position and running into the desert before the ground convoys even arrived. This psychological pressure broke the back of the resistance, proving that a confident national army is more power. From Bamako to the smallest villages, the phrase "Kidal is back" has become a rallying cry for a new generation. For the people of Mali, this isn't just about the town, it is about dignity. It is the feeling of finally being the master of your own house. For too long, the history of the North was written by others, separatists, smugglers, and foreign generals. But now the Malian flag is flying over the gateway to the north, and the people are celebrating a second independence. They are saying that they do not need a big brother in Europe to tell them how to protect their own soil. This surge of patriotism is a fuel that is powering the current government's drive for total sovereignty. To truly understand the weight of this moment, we have to look at the long and painful history of the region. Northern Mali is a massive place with huge distance between towns. It is a harsh environment where staying alive is a daily battle. Because it was so hard to reach, Kidal became the place where all these tensions met. Whenever a peace deal failed, it started in Kidal. Whenever a new war began, Kidal was the center. By taking back the city, the Malian state has essentially cut the head off the snake of instability. They have proven that the desert is no longer a place where you can hide from the law. The international dimensions of this victory cannot be ignored. For years, France was the main security player in Mali, but their mission was increasingly seen as a failure by the local population. When the military authorities told the French to leave, many in the West predicted that the country could collapse within weeks. They said Mali couldn't survive without European experts. Well, it shows that when an African nation takes responsibility for its own security, it can achieve results that decades of foreign interventions could not. The shock in Europe comes from the realization that they are no longer needed and their influence is evaporating like a mist in the desert heat. However, dear viewers, the battlefield is only half the story. Maintaining peace in a place like Kidal is a huge challenge. Winning the war is one thing, winning the peace is another. The desert is vast and groups can always hide and reorganize with the local communities. They know that a soldier with a gun can take a city, but it takes a government with a plan to keep it. They are working to restore schools, markets, and water supplies. They want the children of Kidal to grow. Burkina Faso are watching closely. They are seeing that the old rules no longer apply. The Alliance of the Sahel is proving that the regional cooperation on African terms is the future. They are sharing intelligence, coordinating their borders, and telling the rest of the world that the era of being a protectorate is over. This is a new chapter in Black history where the map is being redrawn by the people who actually live on the land. The momentum is clearly with the people, and the old empires are finding themselves on the outside looking in. The truth is, Kidal was the last pillar of a system that kept Mali weak. By knocking down that pillar, the Malian forces have cleared the way for a more stable and independent future. It is a reminder that sovereignty isn't given, it is taken. And once the people realize their own strength, there is no power on earth that can stop them from reclaiming their destiny. Thank you for watching The Global Observer. Keep an eye out for more.